coders, welcome to our code along. Today we're going to code the project called Poppies, which has been designed to commemorate our fallen soldiers for both Anzac and Remembrance Day. Let's get started. So we have our starter project here. We can see it's a green screen with a black dot on it. Let's jump in so we can remix our project. So in our coding project today, we've got two different things that we're really going to learn about. We're going to learn how to create our own scratch coding block, which is a pretty cool skill to be able to use. The block that we're going to make today, we're going to call it Poppy, and it's going to give some instructions about how to draw a poppy. Then we're going to use that block within some other code to create a piece of art. The other thing we're going to look at today is how to use the pen extension tool. We're not going to use it today for drawing, but instead we're going to use it like a stamp. And it's going to stamp our sprite several times on the page to create a poppy. Let's start by importing the pen extension tool. So click down the very bottom left-hand corner with your extension tools here, and we're going to select on pen. And you will notice that it incorporates a new section of blocks that are all to do with the pen. Let's define our own scratch coding block. We do that by using the My Blocks here. And we need to click on Make a Block. And where it says Name, we're just going to type in Poppy and click OK. So it's now getting us to define what that Poppy code is. Let's define what we want our block to do. So that every time the Poppy block is in an algorithm, it's going to follow this set of instructions. The first thing we want to do is to make sure we set the costume. I'm going to start with the red costume. If I jump into my sprite here, it's got two costumes, red and black. We want to start with red, and we want to make sure that it goes to the front layer. We're going to stamp our sprite onto the page. So imagine the red circle is going to be the petals of the poppies. So we want it to do it 6 times to make the 6 petals. So our first thing that we want to do 6 times is that we're going to stamp our sprite onto the page. Now it needs to move around and rotate in a circle. So we're going to get it to move 30 steps. And after it's moved 30 steps, it is going to rotate 60 degrees. Let's give that a go. If we click on the code, we have the beginning of our poppy. What we want it to do now is to do the black stamp in the middle to make the center of the flower. So we're going to get it to turn another time, but only 45 degrees this time. We're going to get it to move another 30 steps. We're going to switch the costume to black this time. And then we're going to get it to stamp. Let's have a look. Oh, I need to click on the poppy, don't I? And we've done the same thing. Now, if I'm to click that again, it's kind of in the same spot. It's moving that little bit, but that's not going to be enough for our artwork. And what I've noticed is that it's repeating itself on top. Now we're going to turn this into a piece of art so that when someone clicks the green flag, it's going to create 6 poppies within our page. So let's start the event when the green flag is clicked. From here, we want to make sure that from our pen menu, we select Erase All. So it won't happen like I've been testing here on my page where I get poppy on poppy on poppy. It's actually going to delete all of them so that we're ready to start from the beginning. I would like to put 6 poppies onto my page, so I'm going to put a repeat 6 block. And to ensure that they don't go on top of each other, I am going to put a go to block. Now, because I'm repeating this 6 times, I actually need to create some random beginning places. So let's go into the operator and let's grab a pick random and add it in to both the X coordinate and the Y coordinate. So for x, we're going to put it between minus 140 and 140 on the x-axis. Let's move this out of the way. And for the y-axis, we're going to go between minus 100 and 100 as starting positions. When we repeat our 6 flowers being stamped onto the page, I want to ensure on another level that they don't actually start drawing on top of each other. So I'm going to use a branching statement, and we use that by doing an if, then, else. And I need to make sure it goes inside the repeat block. So I'm going to tell my code, if it is touching this green coloured background, you can go ahead and draw the poppy. So let's use the sensing tool to tell it if it's touching the green colour. Now when I go to select my colour, I could try to move these to determine the correct colour, but it needs to be exact. So I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. I'm going to go to my board and select the green. Now I have an exact colour match. So I can ensure that if it is touching green, I'll go to my blocks and it's going to create a poppy. So you can see here our actual block that we created. So rather than putting all of this code inside here, created my own, and if it's touching the green, it's going to go poppy. Now, if it is not touching green, which means it's landed on the red or the black of another poppy, what I want it to do is to move, let's say 75 steps away, and hopefully that will be enough space for it to create its own. So let's run the program and see. There are lots of things that you could do with this project now that we've reached a finished stage. You could create your own design and instead of poppies, create something else. Creating mandalas is something that is a really popular thing to do, and using this sequence, you could create your own mandalas to be able to use as well. Perhaps you're going to create a version of different flowers. Maybe you're going to think of something completely different. Thanks for joining us for creating poppies to commemorate Anzac Day. Hope you enjoy this short activity, and we can't wait to see you for the next one. Happy coding, everyone.